Welcome back to my universe. It's DC, and if you're OG, you already know what a real wrong. If you're new to my channel, thank you for tuning in. I hope that you'll stick around and subscribe. So before I get into the episode, I do want to mention that this is part 3. If you have not yet watched part 1 and 2, I do suggest that you go back and watch those. And at this time, it was about 1 a.m. So my energy was just a little bit depleted. So I'm not as hyper in this video, but I still share my experience. So just bear with me. Okay. So moving on to my 3rd pregnancy. I actually was supposed to get my period that morning. Now, the only thing is I don't remember the exact day. I think it was maybe somewhere between like June the 22nd through the 28th of 2020. And the very moment that I went to the bathroom and realized that my period hadn't came, I went to Dollar Tree, because this time I said, I pretty much know that I'm pregnant. I just need to confirm it. So I'm not gonna go out and buy no expensive pregnancy test. I'm gonna go and get one for $1. I'm gonna get 2 of them, and I'm gonna come home, I'm gonna take them, and that's just gonna be that. So that's exactly what I did. I took the test, and lo and behold, I was pregnant. I immediately took a picture of the test and I sent it to his dad. We discussed, what the options were. But me just being the person that I am, if I'm gonna lay down and know that I wasn't using the proper precautions, then I am going to take full responsibility and accountability and handle what I need to handle. I'm not just gonna take the easy way out, which I could have, but I didn't, because I had to hold myself responsible. And that's not to say that his dad was, trying to force or push me to terminate the pregnancy, because he wasn't. He did tell me that he was supportive in any decision that I decided to make. So I decided that I went back and forth. Honestly, though, I'm not gonna sit here and lie. I went back and forth because I knew that I was already supporting 2 children on my own, and I was just getting to a place where I felt like I had a little bit more freedom to enjoy myself outside of being a mom. But I prayed on it and I thought about it, and I decided, of course, that I was going to keep my baby. And I knew that there was a special reason why I had gotten pregnant again. Me and his dad were not actually in a committed relationship. That's when the pandemic had first hit. So we were just chilling. He is somebody that I knew for a long time prior to us actually getting involved with each other in that way. I felt as though we still would be able to come together to raise this child that we both created. They were only allowing the pregnant person to attend the appointments. So I was going through all of those appointments alone. It's so small.
It is so small, isn't it?
Yeah, that's a good one.
Do you want me to take a picture of you in front of the screen?
Sure. And I would text him and update him sometimes, just depending on where we were, like whether we were on talking terms or not. And of course, since I'm pregnant, I had started to kind of get emotional, because regardless of us being together, I still expected him to be a little bit more active than what he was. But I would like to give him credit, because throughout my pregnancy, he did bring me cases of water. Some people don't do that at all, but he did make sure that I had water. Sometimes I did have to remind him, but for the most part, he brought water. I did start my YouTube channel during this pregnancy. my first episode of my channel was actually my gender reveal. So if you have not seen that, it'll probably like pop up on this video. But so yeah, that's how I started my YouTube channel, with my gender reveal. And of course, his gender was a boy. I was super excited. Everyone was telling me, oh, it's probably gonna be a girl. You should have another girl. And I was already having like really vivid dreams. I usually have vivid dreams anyway, but during my pregnancies, my dreams are extremely vivid. So I knew that he was a boy before I knew that he was a boy.
This girl got me out here.
Hold up.
Right,
I
scooters.
do not play. Dang. Okay, y'all ready?
Ooh,
I like to put mine in my
yeah, bro. Hanging out, son.
Okay.
All right, hold on.
Okay, you ready?
Hold on. I gotta find a way to try to. Ooh. Woo. Oh, yeah, I gotta go fast. Oh, damn.
Moving forward, I honestly can say that out of all of my pregnancies, my third one was probably the most chill and relaxed, and I was a lot more comfortable and happy. Not necessarily in the fact that I was, doing it alone, but I was a lot more comfortable with myself and healing and growing, and I was doing a lot more research about how my emotions and the things that I ate and everything affected my baby. So I actually ate really healthy with this pregnancy. I was willing to eat more. I started to eat more fruits, more vegetables. I literally had a smoothie every day. I was making sure that I took my vitamins, drinking adequate amount of water. I was really active from the start of this pregnancy. Like, I was meditating, I was drinking red raspberry leaf tea. I was really mentally, emotionally, and physically preparing myself for the birth of this baby, because I knew that I could just feel it. Like, with him, I could just really feel that he was actually healing me, from the inside out. He was actually helping me to work on parts of myself that I had abandoned before. So that's why his middle name is 11. 11 is a really powerful and significant number, because I realized so much throughout this pregnancy. Although I was still single, the experience with that pregnancy was a lot more positive than the previous two. It get really big with him as well. I don't think I got as big as I did with my second pregnancy, but I did gain a good amount of weight. I would say at least 15 to 20 pounds maybe. And I ended up giving birth to him at 38 weeks and 4 days, I believe, or 5 days. Yeah, but his actual due date was March 5th of 2021. Ooh, y'all, I don't know why I got hiccups all of a sudden. His actual due date was March 5th, 2021. I ended up giving birth to him on February the 24th of 2021. The day leading up to labor and delivery, it was really unexpected. Of course, I do have footage of my last doctor's appointment and everything. Everything that I was going through and experiencing throughout that pregnancy, I have in a video pretty much. I had a lot of new experiences, like I said. I believe I had gone to the doctor, I would say like a day or two before I actually gave birth to him, and I was so sad, y'all, because I was dilating and I knew I was dilating. So I figured that my last appointment, I would be dilated enough to where my doctor just said, you know, hey, go ahead and go to the hospital after you leave this doctor's visit. But that's not what he told me at all. I still was not dilated enough. My cervix had not dropped enough for me to actually be admitted into the hospital. So I was really, really sad because I was tired. Once again, I was tired and I was just ready to get it over with. That 38-week mark for me, it'd be enough. They been then did what, it just be enough. It'd be enough. It'd be so uncomfortable. So I remember coming home that day and just crying and crying and crying and crying. I ended up riding to Georgia with my best friend and her mom. I was crying so much to the point where my best friend had her mom to pray for me because I just could not stop crying. I was so ready for my baby to come. But that next day, I got up. I had a couple things that I needed to do, but I did go for a walk, and I walked around my block, and I was making sure that with each hill that I hit, that I was intensely, like, you know, going up that hill. I was making sure that I was just kind of making sure that I was walking fast enough to get the contractions and stuff going. Like, I still was not contracting. I did not feel anything even after that walk. So I came home, I got in a shower, and I ended up going to the store because I needed to shop for my niece and nephew a gift. Their birthday had just passed, and I wasn't able to get them a gift in, so I used that day to go and get them a gift. So I remember walking into Winn-Dixie, and soon as the manager seen me walk through the door, I had on a little like yellow dress, but it was tight fitted, and he was just like, I just want to let you know, why are you shopping in this store? I do not know how to give birth to a baby, and you look like you are about to have that baby right now. Like, and I was just laughing, like, yeah, you know, I'm due soon, but he's still not ready yet. And as I was walking down the aisles, like, I was grabbing so much attention because I was just, and I think the dress made me look extremely big as well because it was tight fitted. But I remember a lady was just like, oh my goodness, are you having twins? And I'm just like, no, it's just one baby. She was just like, oh my goodness, you are huge. She said the same thing. It looked like you about to have that baby like any minute now. So you know, I'm still waddling my butt around looking for a gift. Or I actually was in Winn-Dixie. I was looking for a gift card for my nephew. But I had picked my children up from school. They wanted to go and get them some toys. So we went to the store. And then I went over to my brother's house to take my niece and nephew their gift. And they was just like, hey, you know, we just gonna go ahead and go to Fun Station since we wasn't actually able to do nothing on my nephew's birthday. My nephew's birthday is on the 22nd of February. So it was like and it was February the 23rd. So they was like, we just gonna go ahead and go to Fun Station. So it was like, y'all wanna come? At first I was just like, nah, you know, I'm kind of tired. But then I was just like, yeah, might as well. So as I'm sitting at their house, just like with my first pregnancy, I started to feel like moisture. But I knew that I wasn't peeing on myself, and it wasn't like a big rush or a gush. It was more like a slow leak. And I remember sitting there thinking, like, what if I am actually in labor right now and I'm about to give birth? But then I kept saying, well, nah, because I just went to the doctor and he told me I wasn't dilated enough. So I don't want to think that I'm finna go in labor and start doing the most. So I just asked, I had on a dress, so I asked my brother's girlfriend for a pair of her tights, because I think it was kind of cool. Like, since it was about to start getting dark, it was kind of cool. And so I put on tights, and I asked my brother for his a pullover or a jacket. And we ended up going to Fun Station. When we got to Fun Station was about to close in an hour. It was like 7 o'clock, and I think they closed at 8. So we decided to still, go in and let the kids play games. But I was hungry, and I knew I was not cooking when I got home. So I ordered a pizza, and after me and Michi played a couple of games, the pizza was ready. I was sitting at the little bench, and I was eating pizza, and I started to have sharp pains. And I was just like, oh my goodness, I'm so uncomfortable. I'm tired. Like, I can't wait for this hour to be up so I can just go home and lay down. But the more I was still eating though, definitely still eating. The more and more I sat there, the more intense the contractions started to get. And I had tried to like time my contractions before, but they were always inconsistent. So at the time, while I was sitting at the bench, I was just like, nah, I'm not gonna time them, because it's probably not the real thing. These probably just Braxton Hicks, and I don't want to run up there to the hospital and they tell me that he not ready yet and they send me home. Like, I just don't want it to be this whole big thing. But as I continued to sit there, the pain started getting a little bit, more intense with each one that came. So now, the hour up at Fun Station, like I'm rushing to my car, I'm still feeling the pain. So as I get in the car, my brother just like, sis, what you need me to do? What you need me to do? And I'm just like, no, bro, it's all right. I got it. It's good. I'm good. I'm just gonna drive home, and I'm gonna take me a shower, and I'm gonna just chill. So he like, all right, sis. But he stayed on the phone with me until, of course, I decided, like, as I was driving, I was just like, okay, maybe I do need the time, because they're coming like back to back. And I had my kids in the back, and I wanted to get us home safe and stuff. So I started the time, and they were like, 4 or 5 minutes apart. And I remember calling my best friend, but she was not answering her phone. Her job was not answering the phone, so I ended up calling her husband to see if he could get in contact with her. And I called her mama, because that's the person who I wanted to be in the delivery room with me. I didn't want my baby's father in the room with me, because for one, I had never experienced that before. My other baby's father wasn't in the room with me, and then me and his dad were not on the best of terms, because I felt misunderstood. I felt like I was alone still, and I needed somebody that was going to be supportive, and I don't think that he would have been the support that I needed, especially since they were only allowing one person in the delivery room. And it was just like, if I'm gonna have one person, I need to be for sure that the one person that I have is gonna be able to help me, because I wanted to go natural. Like, I didn't want to have to have any medicine or anything like that. Like, I wanted to utilize everything that I learned throughout the pregnancy to have a natural birth. That was my desire. And we had already talked about it, and he was just, he was telling me like, no, I'm not going to rub your feet. I'm not going to rub your back or do none of that. That's not going to help. So he was already kind of negative about it, and I didn't want to do it. But I had to call my children's grandmother to come and get them, and then I had to call his dad to come, and they both were 30 to 40 minutes away from me. So I had to just do whatever I could around the house to get through them contractions until they came, because I couldn't just leave my kids here, and then I didn't want to have my baby at home either. So while I was waiting on them, I pretty much just I got in the shower, I did meditation, I was leaning over my bed. I still was able to like talk on the phone. You know, I called the hospital and I let them know what I was feeling, and I timed my contractions, and the app on my phone told me like, okay, yes, your contractions are close enough, you need to start heading to the hospital like right now. So I called the hospital, and at first the lady was just like, maybe you should just drink some water and lay down. And I was saying okay on the phone, but I knew that I could not do that. I knew like I needed to be on my way to the hospital. So once my children's grandmother and his dad got there, I had my bags and stuff packed on the couch. And I don't think they was taking me serious, because I wasn't screaming and I wasn't hollering and I wasn't just doing the most. They didn't take me serious. I don't think they actually thought that I was actually in labor. So he came in just like, what do you need me to do? What do you want me to do? So I'm just like, I need you to grab the bags, put them in the car so we can go to the hospital. So we get in the car, we start heading to the hospital. Again, the ride just felt so long. He going through potholes and he was trying to get me there, but it still was like, bro, come on now. You ain't have to go through the pothole. You ain't have to turn the curb like that, you know? So when we pulled up to the emergency part, I got out of the car. I walked in on my own as he parked the car. And when I got to the counter, you know, they were asking me for all of my information. And as I was talking to them, same thing with my first pregnancy, I had to stop in between, like mid-sentence, because a contraction would come. And I was leaned over the counter, and he walked in and he was just like, so what's going on, you know? And I couldn't say anything at the time, and he was just like, why you ain't saying nothing? Like, and I could not even go off on him just because I was already in pain, and I just did not want to stress. I did not want to be angry or frustrated, because I knew that my baby would feel that, and I wanted my labor and delivery to be peaceful. So they brought down the wheelchair, they wheeled me up and everything. When I first got upstairs, they did not let him back immediately, because they wanted to go over things with me and check to see if I was far along dilated, and to see if we had his baby tonight. So once she actually checked me, I believe I was 8 centimeters. And same thing like with my first pregnancy. They immediately got me back to a labor and delivery room. They let him come in. I could tell, like, once he knew I was actually in labor and we was gonna get ready to have our son, he was super excited. You know, he started to get on the phone and call his family and stuff like that. And just pacing back and forth and all of that. And I'm just laying in the bed. I'm breathing. I had these scented oils that were helping me. I was using them as practice prior to me going into labor, because like I said, so I'm on my phone. This is a video on my phone though. I'm currently 9 centimeters dilated, almost 100%. These
bitches do hurt, but doing it. Doing as best as I can. Probably definitely be here in the next hour or two. I damn sure ain't expect this today. And I got an appointment on Friday. Obviously, I ain't gonna make it. We'll be probably home by then. I'm ready. I'm excited.
I had gotten into meditation and just finding my inner zen so that even with the contractions, I still would be in control. With my previous pregnancies, I had no control. I was just doing it. But I had done more research. I was more educated. I was preparing myself, like I said. So I had the essential oils and I was smelling them. I think I went in with lemongrass, but they ended up giving me lavender. So I was just pretty much smelling them back and forth to just help me to breathe. They actually were not as intense. This time they used a peanut ball because my cervix still wasn't thinned out enough on one side. So they had me to lay on my side with a peanut ball between my legs to help that part of my cervix thin out. And then I remember just feeling like, okay, she was just like, let me know before you start pushing, just let me know when you feel it. And I was already at 9 centimeters, but I told her, I was just like, I think that I actually want to get an epidural. She was just like, you sure? You're so far along. It might not even take, because by the time you get it, you'll probably be 10 centimeters and you'll be pushing, so you might not even really get the effects of it. But if you want it, then I'll call the anesthesiologist up here and we can get it started. So I was going back and forth in my head, like whether or not I actually really wanted to do it. And I think I had started to get a little bit nervous because they had told me that my baby's head was big. Like even on my ultrasound, they was telling me that my baby's head was big, and it was possible that he would probably be at least 8 pounds or bigger just based on the circumference of his head. So I think that made me nervous because I left this part out too. With my first pregnancy or my first delivery, I ended up having to get stitches because I tore, and I did not want to go through that pain again. So I think I started to get nervous and did end up getting the epidural. Now, whether or not it actually worked, I can't tell because I still felt like the pressure and all of that stuff, especially like in my back and in my butt and everything. I felt it, and that's how I knew that I was ready to push, because I felt it. So I started to push, and when he came out, he cried for like a couple seconds. He was 6 pounds and 7 ounces. He was born at 1:08 a.m. on February 24th of 2021. When they gave him the, I think it was like the vitamin K and all of that stuff. I think something, or was it the HELP? One of them. But when he came out, he cried for a second. I breastfed him. And when he got his shot, he didn't even cry. He did not cry. Like, he didn't budge. And I was just like, oh yeah, I got me one. He was so quiet. He was chill, And after he ate, my baby slept throughout the night. I don't know if he thought he was still in my stomach or what, but he did not wake up at all throughout the night. And that had me so scared because, again, the pregnancy, labor, and delivery before that was completely different. I just kept waking up and checking on him, and he was fine. But he actually was born with 11 fingers, and this is not something that I knew before I gave birth to him, that he would have 11 fingers, but I had already decided that his middle name was going to be 11, and that was based on something spiritual and a show that I watched, because I love the show Stranger Things, and a character's name on there was 11. And I knew from the very first moment that I watched that show and learned that her name was 11, I said, the next baby that I have, I'm going to name my baby 11, whether it's the first name or the middle name. And this was even before I got pregnant with him. But he was born with 11 fingers, and they just tied it off, and it eventually fell off once he got home. But when we got home, he still was really quiet. He was chill, and now he's very demanding and fussy. But the experience was beautiful. His dad was there with me for the first couple of days after giving birth with him, and he was in and out for the first couple of weeks. He had to go back to work and stuff like that, but yeah, it was a great experience. I did begin to still sink into a bit of depression just from being like sleep deprived, and already having 2 other children that I still needed to care for, and just a lot. But I am very grateful to be all of their moms. I love them all with all of my heart, and each experience, like I said, was very different and unique, but it definitely shows through each child. Their characteristics and things of that nature definitely shines through based on the experiences that I had throughout my pregnancy. Their eating habits is much like the eating habits that I had throughout my pregnancy. But yeah, so y'all, that concludes this episode. That is and was my pregnancy, labor, and delivery experiences ×3. I hope that you were able to take something from this video. I hope that you enjoyed it. If you made it this far, make sure that you leave 3 hearts in the comments. Make sure that you give it a thumbs up. Make sure that you subscribe and hit the notification bell, and I'll see y'all in the next episode. I love y'all to the moon and back. Good night.